Pam, I thank you so much for being with us. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pam.
Thank you so much, Charles. I appreciate you having me on today. Listening to our two prestigious speakers today and all of the information they provide really touched my heart, because having resources like this, and it's so important for us to have these conversations and to share this information in an approachable manner. So being able to reach out to any of us, please, if you're a caregiver or a family member of someone who's suffering from Alzheimer's, or you're actually someone who has mild cognitive impairment and you're trying to get informed, we are here to help you. You are not alone. And so you might be asking, based on Charles's introduction, who are you really, Pam? Well, as Charles mentioned, I went through a 14-year journey with my mom having Alzheimer's, and in the last 2 years or 3 years, my dad had dementia. And so throughout that journey, I was desperate for some sort of resources, and this was back in 2001. And then we moved to assisted living by 2007. And so we were desperate for information. Who did we go to? What questions? Who could answer our questions? How did we function in this bizarre world where we were losing my mom day by day or week by week, depending on the stage she was in? And I thought someone needs to write a guidebook that kind of has real life examples and also provides tips and guidance about how do you handle all of this. So one of the things that we just talked about in the question was how many people plan? Well, apparently it's 25%. So how do you start that conversation? And one of the things that I talk about in the book is what we did to plan. And then it's a issue where people have fear and resistance. They're scared. We all get scared through this whole thing, and it's okay. And thank goodness for people like Angela who help us go, it's going to be okay. And so my goal in writing both It's Not That Simple and in having created Alzheimer's Family Consulting is to help family members of those with dementia and Alzheimer's not feel guilt, not feel regret, not feel sadness when they look back on this journey, but instead to feel like you did the best you could for your loved one at a time when they needed you the most. And a lot of people think of the Alzheimer's journey as a very sad one, complicated, frustrating, something that you dread and just don't want it to happen. And we don't get to decide who ends up with Alzheimer's or who doesn't. However, I want you to open your mind to the thought that Alzheimer's can expand your heart and your mind as a human being. And the reason I say that is that the moments I had with my mother, the most meaningful moments with my mother, was when I was present, which I was so happy to hear Angela say that. And to just be there with her, to feel her hand, to rub her back, to feed her ice cream sundaes. And what it did is it allowed me to clear the clutter. It allowed me to realize that this person in front of me was the most important person on the planet at that time. It didn't matter that I was running a company or, had friends to go out with that night or whatever. It was all about her. And to me, what that did is it expanded my heart and it expanded who I was. And it made her life so much better during those years. 14 years is a long time. So I just want to share that with you before we launch into what's in the book, because what I did is I structured this book. It's Not That Simple, helping families navigate the Alzheimer's journey. And you'll notice there was a compass on the cover, and that's kind of me. I consider myself the compass or the navigator in helping you walk along that path. And you can see that dark forest in the background. And, basically there's a lot of things, a lot of decisions you're going to have to make, whether they're medical, personal, financial, legal, I mean, there's just a lot of decisions, and that pressure sits on you 24/7. So again, use those resources that are in Angela's slide deck. Be sure you download that, because it's so important for you to be able to step back and go, I've got perspective, right? So the book covers from everything from, and I won't read all the titles because I'm actually going to go through and tell you what's a little bit about what's in each chapter. But you'll see that this is structured from a lesson perspective, helping you from the very start to the very end on your journey. And the purpose behind that is really to make sure that you have not just what my journey was, because there's a lot of books out there that talk about an individual's journey, but it actually goes through and has criteria and questions for you in each stage. What are the things that you need to do? What are the questions you need to be asking? What are the considerations you need to be making? So it's a comprehensive guidebook, and someone said that they're going to keep it in their pocket until this journey's over. So I appreciated that.